Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a tit for tort edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party.
The court calls Monster Party.
All rise.
I
All
object,
rise.
Your Honor. I object.
You're out of order.
The whole
you're
court's out of order.
Oh, man.
For that one line, that movie will live forever.
Right.
Sure.
And speaking of living forever, who are you, sir?
Oh, God bless you. I am Matt Weinhold.
I am SHAWN Sheridan.
I am Larry STROTHE.
And I'm James Gonis.
And for this episode, we're bringing back one of our greatest friends, truly. And we're doing a topic that it's very important today because there are a lot of legal matters that are happening throughout the country. But the most important ones that are happening within the realm of science fiction and horror. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they overlap, you know.
Sure.
Right.
So we are going to do a mixture of genre, film, and TV related legal issues mixed with actual law. And we're calling this episode Legal Geeking.
Legal geeking!
Geeking. It's the verb.
And I'm sure, look, if you're a fan of the genre, science fiction, fantasy, and horror,
I
you're
am.
watching a movie and you're really enjoying it, and you say to yourself, well, legally, can that happen?
Exactly.
Is that right?
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Because if you're a
Where's their
hardcore
permit?
fan, you think about this stuff when you're into all these
I
things.
do.
Like,
I
like
think
we
we all
are.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not talking about stuff behind the scenes. We're talking about in the movie.
Right.
That's correct. Yeah,
These
thank you for
fictional
pointing that out.
worlds.
Yes, we're
Yes.
talking about
Right.
within
In
the
the
fictional world
Yes.
of these shows or movies. And so we thought this would be fun. And we were racking our brains for a guest. Who the hell could be a perfect guest? And then it dawned on us. The perfect guest for this episode is truly a dear friend of the show and of mine, longtime friend, and dare I say, almost a Father Christmas presence in all our lives. Get this, he is a reputable lawyer and the host and co-creator of the blog and podcast, The Legal Geeks. What are the odds?
The Legal Geeks. Yes.
Please welcome back the man who the kingpin doesn't want to mess with, Josh Gilliland.
Josh Gilliland!
Gentlemen, it's so good to see you. Thank you for the warm intro. And
course.
I want to highlight, I'm not actually giving anyone legal advice tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Disclaimer.
It's just, we're
it's-
posing
it's-
questions.
Yeah.
And
It's-
it's only good fun.
It's educational, it's entertainment.
Theoretical.
It's theoretical.
Don't go
It's
out
not-
and try stealing an asteroid. Like, just don't do
Yeah.
those things.
Right. If you're
In
a
other
space
words,
smuggler, don't take any of this to court.
We
Right.
don't want you to go to a judge and say, well, Josh Gilliland said.
Yeah.
Right.
Excuse me, Judge. At the Mos Eisley Spaceport, I believe.
The things I worry about. Yeah, because it's people love the law. I can say that with great certainty because of all the cons that we've attended and people have been
Right.
there at our legal geek panels at WonderCon or San Diego Comic-Con, and they love the law, and using pop culture as a way to describe the law is
Yes.
very effective.
Yeah.
Your
And-
panels, Josh, are like standing room only.
Yeah. And Josh, for people who might have been living under a rock who are just new to the show, what is your podcast, The Legal Geeks? What is it?
So back in June of 2012, Jessica Meterson and I had this idea of let's take pop culture and use it as a foil to talk about the law, because we were both giant geeks and loving Star Wars and Star Trek and Marvel and DC, Battlestar Galactica, Westworld. Just go down the list of all
Far
of
out
the
space nuts.
Yeah, it's maybe Little Space 1999. You know, if you're curious, Blake 7 if you're experimental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Now we're
just,
talking.
and just getting into those issues, because as a lawyer, like, you go through law school and you are trained and it's ingrained in your soul that you're always issue spotting. And for me, it's hard to watch a TV show and go like, wait, whoa, the insurance claim on that would not be good.
Oh.
I don't think that man can have insurance. Like that kind of
Right.
that
But
reaction.
I think also that as huge fans of horror and sci-fi, people are always talking about world building. And, you know, we always like to imagine the world behind what you're seeing, you know, imagine the whole interconnecting elements of these stories and the characters. So you start thinking, you know, as a big fan, you start thinking about stuff like that, like, you know, legally in the real world, how would that work if such a thing, if there were superheroes in the real world and you had to deal with legal issues, you know?
Or
Grounding it.
monsters.
Yeah.
It's a fun thought exercise. And there are a lot of people who go by the title of Your Honor, or who sign their names with Esquire, who grew up reading comic books or watching horror movies, and they can talk about Bram Stoker's Dracula to great extent, or they love The Lord of the Rings, the books, and they can describe those with great precision. And it just highlights people who love the law, who practice law. There's a large number of us. The Venn diagram of who's a nerd is a circle.
And you don't get like, you know, the billboard lawyers like Sweet James or, you know, those people.
Yeah.
You get like the real deal. You get judges and people from every aspect of law. It's incredible. When I go to your panels, it's like one of the high points for me for Comic-Con and every con that I go, because I always enjoy those shows.
Yeah. And for listeners, I'm sure we talked about this before, but Josh had a panel called The Jaws Trial, which, as James said, it was standing room only. It was a huge room, and it was fantastic. I had no idea where this was going to go. Like, is the town of Amity responsible for the death of the little Kittner boy? Oh my God, it was great. And you had people playing Mrs. Kittner and the mayor, and then you had these terrific attorneys on both sides, and you had a real judge giving her a judgment. And the tough thing is you have to do all this in like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, what do you tell those people? How do you do that?
Lawyers are good with time management since we do bill by the hour. So
True. Yeah.
being able to go like, okay, like we've done mock trials before. And so like opening statements, 5 minutes, like witness direct and cross-examination, 7 minutes. Like you put together the timeline, build in a little, you know, fudge factor, knowing that there's time for people to move if something weird happens. So you don't just like plan like for the full 50 minutes. Like you want to get questions as well.
Right.
And it is radically difficult sometimes. Like we've gone right to the red line with a few of these. The majority of the time, though, our people are very good and they practice because they give a damn. They are good at what they do and they come out swinging and do a magnificent job. They're a credit to the profession and they help people understand how the law works.
Yeah.
If you do another Jaws one, can I play Mrs. Kittner? Because
Of course.
I want to.
But for listeners,
I want to slap
go to
someone.
You gotta get the hat.
YouTube, check in the Legal Geeks, the Jaws Trial to see it because it's terrific. And Josh, it was such a pleasure to see that. And you've done all kinds of things with MCU characters. You did Superman. Did you do Raiders of the Lost Ark or
We
you did
did.
an Indiana?
We did an Indiana Jones panel for the 40th anniversary. And that was a ton of fun because there are a lot of lawyers and judges who are very nerds and they enjoy that. I took the bold.
What were some of the questions?
Oh, about like the actual laws pertaining to discovery of
And so like archaeological items. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, you guys have heard like there's a shipwreck. This is something that happened not too long ago. There was a shipwreck with all this gold. A Spanish ship sinks in the water, stays there for like 300 years. And there's this famous scuba diver guy who looks for shipwrecks, finds it, brings up all this gold, go, hey, it's me. Well, there was an insurance claim where it was insured 300 years ago, I think. The company still exists. And they went after this guy saying, hey, that's our goal. Like 300. And so it's interesting. How do you...
Guy can't get a break.
No, well, and then think about it. Where was the ship found? What waters was it? And this is it a Spanish court versus an international court? I mean, that's crazy. So the Indiana Jones thing I thought was really interesting because what is it 9/10 is like what? You discovering it, or I don't know.
There's wiggle room with the Indiana Jones ones. Now there's like in Last Crusade when they're in Utah. There's some questions about some of the laws weren't in place. So like because of the timing of that story, it gets into some like I don't know categories of maybe. There are other ones that there are laws in place to protect, those cultural artifacts.
Right.
And that can play a factor. Shipwrecks gets weird and complicated. I know how much you boys love the Goonies, but there is about could the kids keep One-Eyed Willie's treasure? And the answer is maybe. So, all right. And so there's some factors there of like it could be viewed as that was legitimate for them to find.
I actually filed a lawsuit against that movie because it was so annoying.
Right.
So this is where we're both at. You guys are the beginning of Gen X, and I'm in the middle of Gen X. So we got that 10-year gap between us.
Right.
And I've always been fascinated by our generational cohorts gravitate towards different things.
Right.
Like your love for Planet of the Apes, my friend group, people like my age, like we don't have the same connection to it.
Right.
Sure.
And on the flip side, 10 years old in 1984, there are things that I'm going to connect with.
Right.
Like you guys were like out of high school by then.
Wait a minute, though.
All in the same category.
Wait a minute.
Because we're all a little different.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. The Goonies? You tell me, Josh.
Yes?
Josh, come on. You and me. We're friends. We know each other.
We're good friends. Very good friends.
The Goonies? No, right?
Matt, there are a lot of people who love the Goonies.
But there is a generation.
It's like
you said
What happened?
nostalgia.
What happened that year that traumatized our world so deeply that the Goonies could be something that someone fondly remembers?
Gremlins, The Goonies, and Hocus Pocus. Those movies are beloved by a generation. They really are. And they're just not our generation.
James?
What's funny about that is I feel the same about Goonies and Gremlins. I have no love of Hocus Pocus because that's later.
That's true. That is later.
Like that's outside of my generation.
Right.
So,
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
So it's fascinating because like meeting some law students of like the last decade, and they have this love of Hocus Pocus. I was like, seriously?
Yeah.
I worked at the movie theater when that came out, and it was a bomb. Like
There's nobody
It was
there,
at the
right?
time. It was at the time.
You know
You're
what,
right.
Josh? It's because it was the video market. It hit the video market, and it was one of those things that was rented a lot. And for kids who don't know, what's a rental place? Well, and then it became this cult classic.
Yeah. Thank God they made a way later sequel just recently that did terribly.
Wow.
Did it? I didn't even hear of that.
They made another Hocus Pocus movie just a few years back, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't hear anything about it, but supposedly they got the cast back. I heard it was terrible.
Like things aren't going bad enough.
Yeah.
But this is all good, and I like this. But what do you say we get into some legal things we can throw at Josh? I want to find out some his thoughts.
Sure, why not?
On certain things.
Anybody want to grab one and grab the law by the horns?
I would like to throw one out because this is one that from a movie that my wife and I just recently watched again. It's a movie we've all seen a million times, we all love, and something came up at when we watched it, and I thought this would be perfect for Josh. So I'm talking about the movie Forbidden Planet. Okay.
I have one for this too.
Do you really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, mine is okay. At the end of the movie, Morbius has been killed. Altera and Robbie go back to Earth with Leslie Nielsen and his crew, right?
Right.
So my question is, back on Earth, and of course, in the world of that movie, we know that it's the future, but we don't really know the specifics of what planet Earth society is like right now.
Right, yeah.
But knowing the incredible abilities that Robbie has, and he was built by Morbius with the help of Krell technology, right?
That's right. Yep.
Okay, so he's helping pilot the ship at the end of the movie. He's helping navigate whatever. So once Robbie is taken back to Earth, how is he designated there? In other words, will he be a citizen, a machine? And with all his amazing powers, who or what agency would oversee him and be in control of him? Because obviously, I would think that he is an object or an entity that would be highly sought after by many countries. I mean,
agreed.
It could be in a way the ultimate weapon, the way Gort was.
So, Josh, before you answer this, can I throw something on top of that relates to what Sean was talking about? If it's all right with you, Sean?
Of course.
Because, Sean, you're talking about Robbie the robot. What about all the Krell stuff that's still on the planet? That whole underground. Well, who does that belong to? Who gets that?
So the Krell one, I think, is easier because they're an extinct species, which would make it abandoned. And so that could turn into a finders keepers situation of like who stakes a claim there. Arguably, Mobius would have had a good claim being there, and then Altera, if she wanted to make the bold claim of like all of this is mine because my dad found it.
Okay,
that's a position. I don't know if that would carry the day for an entire planet, but technically nobody owns abandoned property, and if the species is extinct and there's nobody coming back for it, that would be the argument of who it would go for. The same would be for Altera owning Robbie, because now we're crossing into the issue of robot rights. Robbie was made by Dr. Morbius,
right?
Yes, I'm sorry. So dad dies.
Yeah.
Flows to the daughter through intestate succession, unless he had a will that he could have then designated, I want MIT to have Robbie. Like if he had a will that said that would be legit. Now the issue of Robbie's not like a normal computer, because Robbie seems to have agency, free will, and we get into the age-old question of like, what is life? And you have the great Outer Limits episode, iRobot. You have Measure of a Man. You have lots of great foils from sci-fi about what is life, and robots are a fun one to talk about for people to identify with a robot. And going with the Rod Serling mindset of like, well, since I can't show civil rights in Alabama, I can use a robot.
Sure, right.
Because the South will watch that, and which is not at all relevant today. So yeah, I tend to go with definitely Altera, but we then get into some very complicated issues of he seems alive, which is different enough to give people pause.
But that also puts a lot of pressure on Altera's shoulders too. It's like people are going to try to influence her, and
absolutely, Sean.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then he can't really defend himself, because if he tries to shoot a human, he can't do it.
Can't.
But I think he's a robot. I don't think he's an android. I think most of the behavior that he shows is like a fun robot that has all these amazing abilities, and the way he speaks is a little to make him user friendly. But I think he's a robot. I don't as much as Chat GPT is.
But the fact that he can make anything, he can create anything. That's power.
And that's a machine that can do that.
But again, that turns into almost an arms race situation.
Yeah.
Of who wants to develop that? And is it safer to go, he has agency? If he's more than a machine but less than a person, is he like a pet? Which then gives different types of rights to pets, because we don't want a pet to get abused. We've all seen the sad commercials from the SPCA.
Yes.
Or I get the next door alerts about save Muffin, who's going to be euthanized on Thursday, and Muffin's a cute dog, and you feel bad about, I can't save Oreo. Oreo's an adorable dog. I feel bad inside because that cute dog needs a home.
Save this Krell dog.
Yeah, it's well, Robbie's different because he's not furry and cuddly, but you can communicate with him. He can, if you have a alcoholic problem, he might.
That's right. Bar's open.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like you might need to talk with him about some responsible behavior. But
Robbie, I enjoy meth.
If I could interject really quickly, two things. One, what we do know towards the end of the movie when Morbius is dying, a switch is thrown, which is going to destroy the planet. And they have to leave the planet as quickly as possible. Did they grab tapes or something of the technology? I don't think so. My understanding is the Krell technology, as we know it, on the planet is destroyed. It is destroyed. They don't have anything from it except for Robbie the robot.
That's a good point.
Now,
that's a good point.
So that's the point number one.
So there was nothing left.
No, except for
they vaporized
Robbie
the entire planet.
Exactly.
Okay. I must have blacked out during that part.
Except for Robbie the robot being the only thing they used Krell's technology to help build him. Now, here's the thing, Matt, for me, and Josh, see if you agree. Because Robbie has something built in, he cannot hurt a human being. If you say, kill that person, Robbie can't do it. But what if you are C-3PO? What if you are, General Grievous? Or what if you are some of these other robotic things that don't have that built into them? To me, Robbie is a product. He is a thing that was built that, yes, he can make all this amazing stuff. He was designed and created to, but I still think of him as property, not as a sentient being who could, hey, I'm going to go and have my own apartment and I'm going to go out and see the ladies.
Yeah.
But C-3PO, though, the thing that gets me about C-3PO is C-3PO, he's sold and bought, and he can definitely think on his own, and he is aware of his own destruction. He freaks out. He wants to try to keep living. So is there something about this artificial intelligence or robots where, hey, I need to keep myself alive? Maybe I'm going to have to hurt some humans, like in the movie 2001 with Hal as a computer killing people to save himself and the mission, so to speak.
Or Colossus, the Forbin Project.
I'm jumping around a lot of things, but I had this whole thing on Star Trek did Next Generation did this great episode, and you mentioned it, Josh. The one, the Measure of a Man, season 2, episode 9, where Data, who is an android, is put on. He's not on trial. It's more like a hearing. Whether or not is he a product that belongs to the Federation, or is he a real human? And it's a great episode. And Riker is put in a position where he has to be the prosecutor. And he hates doing it, but damn, does he do a great job. But I was looking at Data and C-3PO and Robbie, and I think, does it depend on the world that's created that we're in?
Right.
That defines, well, does this robot have rights or does he not? I mean, what do you guys think?
If I may interject, Measure of a Man was written by Melinda Songgrass, who is an attorney. I did a podcast with
Really?
Yep. And so she's in New Mexico, and she had, she worked on season 2. She had stories about what that was like from Chaos on the Bridge.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't so fun sometimes.
Really?
Why? What do you mean?
There was internal politics. She was asked by Leonard Nimoy to write a stage play of like Spock debating Q.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And she declined doing that because she had such an intense experience.
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah, somebody else did that. That's right.
She's awesome. And you can listen to the episode I did with her. But she got into the legal issues with that because, again, lawyer, and thinking about what was going on and trying to tell that civil rights story that, is Data going to be property? And you have that test of like, what is a person? And again, it's one of the best TNG episodes.
It is, yeah.
So good.
That's
good.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
It's when the show started to turn the corner of like, hey, now it's getting good.
Yeah, I got to see
Agreed, Matt. Totally agree.
But there's the issue of like robots and whether or not they're alive or not. it all depends on what they do and how they act. Pivoting back to Star Wars, R2D2 is like the family pet. Like he's the loyal dog that's there, great in a pinch, good in a fight. And then you get characters like K2SO from Andor and
Yeah.
One. Or if you're watching the Maul show, Two Boots. It's a police droid, and he's the partner for the lead police officer in the show. And he's sounding more like a person with agency. And it's like, this is fascinating because they haven't quite had a droid like that before. His nickname's Two Boots because he liked wearing two boots. And it's like, yeah, it's like, so that's wild because you start seeing personality and agency and decision making that shows a lot of, personhood.
Right.
And because Star Wars plays a dangerous game of droids sound a lot like slaves, and worst case scenario. Next up would be they're like the family pet, like R2. But then you get some of the bounty hunter droids like IG-11 or IG-88 that, like, if they're out there accepting contracts, that's something people do. Computers don't just go out and get a contract.
No, you're right. It seems like across the entire giant Star Wars franchise, which movies, TV shows, books, whatever, it seems like there's droids of all kinds, like the higher intelligent droids and just the worker machines.
Right.
And the power droid is the lowest level where it's a walking battery.
And every iteration in between. I mean, it is kind of interesting how some are considered almost people, but others aren't.
But it sounds like they haven't explored as much as Star Trek has the ethics behind it, or the potential dilemmas behind how many, what robot or droid rights are. And
there's not that I know of. I mean, there could be stories or that I am aware of.
There's a show. It's Solo L3, Lando's droid. She talked about like droid rights and comments about like they don't even serve our kind here. So So they've gone up and just like tapped it.
Okay, now can I just ask? Okay, when a robot, when C-3PO comes into the cantina and the bartender goes, "We don't serve their kind here." Well, it doesn't imply that he's a robot. He just wants oil, and we don't serve oil. We serve blue milk. Isn't that what it is? It's not like, oh, we don't want that metal guy. And so
so we actually had a mock trial on that at WonderCon a few pre-pandemic because a lot of the civil rights acts that were passed, specifically in the 1960s, talked about taverns and tipping houses, that you cannot just prohibit class discrimination and saying, like, we don't serve their kind here. Like, that kind of language is out of the 1950s and 60s, and some people think 2026. I've heard some ugly things about a friend who drove to Florida through the southern United States, and apparently they missed a memo. So like refusing hotel rooms to people of color, that kind of like that's illegal.
Come on.
That said, pivoting back to Star Wars and A New Hope, that sounds like discrimination, and that gets into the issue of like a tipping house or a tavern, doing race-based discrimination. So it turns on what's a droid. Now, when we go back to that cantina in The Mandalorian, bartender Weir is no longer there.
Right.
A droid's running it, and they are serving droids.
That's right.
No. Oh my God.
Progress.
And so
progress.
Yeah, a lot of people walking in there going, "This place has changed."
And Mandalorian season 3, they went to a planet run by Jack Black, and there was a droid bar. And so they go to a droid bar where they're, getting like basically like an oil change.
Right. That's right.
Sure, right. And why not?
It's like, okay, so again, you would need to have a completely different menu. It'd be one thing to like,
sure.
It's hard to imagine because life forms like us, like we all have basically similar things that we can eat. There's things that would just be toxic to us, and there's things that are like, the food pyramid that we know. So like, the idea of like basically blowing up the food pyramid, and you could go to a bar and someone's getting a quart of Pennzoil, like
Right.
that would be very different.
Space Pennzoil.
I gotta just a slight digression here, but
Uh-huh.
I once went with Rick Overton.
Oh,
Yeah, he knows Woody Harrelson.
oh,
So
okay.
we went to Woody Harrelson and his wife had opened a bar in Los Angeles called the Oxygen Bar. And you
Okay.
would go
Mhm.
there and they would serve oxygen. I'm not kidding.
I've
You
I've
go
heard
there,
of this. Yeah.
And you would put these things in your nose and you sit
Right.
there and you go, and it's supposed to give you this high or whatever. And then you
Was
could
it
also
filtered clean?
yeah, it was
air
like
or something?
each one had like a different flavor and
Oh,
I mean
wow.
I have kiwi.
it was absurd. It was absurd. They were both very nice, but I looked at him at one point at Woody Harrelson and I swear, and maybe I'm just projecting this on him, but there was a thing in his eyes that said, "Yes, I know, it's a flop."
Was it called The Bar, owned by a actor who has way too much money and doesn't know what to do with?
And I don't know if it was his idea or his wife's idea or whatever, but
Right.
and then like you could get food too, but the food was like, oh,
Oxygen food.
they were, yeah, but it was almost like that. It was like you can get a brownie that's not made of anything. You can get,
Like rice cakes.
yeah, right, exactly.
And a side of air.
And aside, yeah, the air bar, though, you have to pay a little more for that.
That sounds so ludicrous.
I mean, it was
I
the most insane thing I've experienced in LA. And it's
Wow.
it's the type of thing that people think LA is like all over
Yeah,
the place.
yeah, exactly. We should open our own oxygen bar, the Monster
No.
Oxygen
Yeah.
Bar.
No.
But hey, can I just weigh in on? We were talking about the rights of androids and everything. There was a
Please.
TV show called Humans that I thought was great.
Yes, excellent
And-
show.
And that was when I first was introduced to Gemma Chan.
Oh yes.
And so, just in a nutshell, you start from these androids who look very lifelike, but they can be used to do housework, or you can have sex with them, or whatever. Anyway, they end up breaking their programming, and then the rest of the show is about them and their rights, and them trying to live amongst humans and the prejudice that they have to suffer. But I thought it was really good, and I think it's a nice, like a sister piece almost to some of the things that are brought up in Blade Runner when it comes
Exactly.
to the replicants, because that whole plot is about the shitty way that we're treating these created human beings.
Yeah, totally.
Have any of you watched Murderbot?
Yeah,
Oh, I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed Murderbot. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun.
Again, those good questions about it's a reflection of how we treat others. Is like, is
Yes.
this what we want to be?
Yeah.
And there are many robot android shows that we can choose from. There was one with Carl Urban called Almost Human, where he was a police officer and had a partner that was synthetic that was getting very good. It was like 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. And it was it was a fun show that had
And you're sure this isn't Holmes and Yo-Yo?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
It was the updating of Holmes and Yo-Yo, which, by the way, asked lots of tough, hard, challenging questions when that
Sean,
came out.
You're right. Yeah.
Is John Shuck, does he have rights of humans?
Are there other jobs he can get?
oh lordy, it's a target rich environment. There are lots of
Yeah.
robot shows that we can explore.
Well, I always thought of James Gonis as being our Blade Runner expert. And if you think about it, in Blade Runner, those replicants, they're the closest thing to a person because they're biological. And
Right.
I was always confused. I mean, if they escape, they can be in society and people won't really know.
Well, that's a challenging thing about the fact you had to do that
Right.
incredibly complex void comp test to even tell that they are replicant.
Yeah.
That's like AI now, where it's like, what is real, what is not. You have to
Right, right.
It's scary.
Well, and then
But
they,
James,
it's that I don't know whether how much of this was in Philip K. Dick's original novel, but there's the existential questions of, okay, if you have a temporary lifespan and you're going to die, what does it mean to your existence?
Right.
And plus the whole memory thing, memories that are implanted and what is the meaning of those? it gets into those. And yeah, I mean, as far as, a kind of a groundbreaking piece of work in terms of posing those questions, yeah, Blade Runner definitely hit the mark.
Yeah.
But Josh, from a legal perspective, I don't even know if you could create replicants as they are, because you are really creating a human. Forget about we've implanted memories. It doesn't matter. Biologically, they still have the heart. They still have the lungs. They can still feel. They have self-preservation, the pain. And sure, maybe they're they have a little more power, or they can, stick their hand into a boiling water and pick out hard-boiled eggs. But
that's what I use them for.
I know, but still legally, Josh, could you be Elon Musk and make these and go, hey, these are products?
Just because
Josh,
to invoke Jurassic Park, just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should do a thing.
Sure. Right.
That's never stopped us, though.
The number of companies that are making robots that run, there was one running in a marathon. There was the one, I think it was a Chinese CEO showing, himself getting kicked in protective gear by one of the murder robots that they decided to make.
It's crazy.
It's like, did none of you watch Terminator?
Right.
Well, they haven't put a
We've had lots of warning labels, and you boys are just ignoring them.
Yeah. I'm still not used to the robot cars that drive by constantly in LA. It's so bizarre. I mean, it's like I live in a world where there's robot cars, completely autonomous robot cars taking people to work, and it's crazy.
No, I just much prefer a stone college student. I can't.
But legally, that car that's designed by a group, scientists, and it's out there doing its little thing, and if it hits somebody, they're liable.
What if it breaks its program and goes in a killing spree?
It
could become the car. The car
2075.
So a couple months ago, there was a blackout in San Francisco, and the Waymo cars didn't know what to do, so they all just stopped in the street. I don't know if there's any pending litigation with that or what other claims, but it caused problems.
I'm sure.
And so I haven't seen anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's litigation over that. The self-driving car technology prompted changes in the law for self-driving cars to exist. And when we did our Transformers 40th anniversary panel about does an Autobot need a driver's license?
He should.
And
he can't be on the road.
Under today's laws and technology, it's a self-driving car.
Josh, it's a privilege, not a right.
And so, you would have to meet those requirements. So again, it was different in 1984 versus modern laws where we have these self-driving cars. Now, but going back to can you build this? If it's a clone, states like Missouri prohibit human cloning. And so you couldn't do it in Missouri. It would take some lobbying because people would start freaking out probably pretty quickly. Now,
in Missouri.
Yeah.
we'll find a state.
Yeah. So
he's just saying Missouri.
Yeah, because that's the one I remember that outright prohibited human cloning after Dolly the sheep came out.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Are we going to pick on Dolly the sheep?
The path of destruction that Dolly left.
That's right.
All the wool everywhere. And
But the issue of there are people who like new toys and living in near Silicon Valley. You have the tech companies that keep going let's make this. Some of the things fall on deaf ears. Look at Google Glass. No one wanted that. And there are others with the iPhone changed society.
Absolutely.
Cell phones were getting smaller and less useful, and Jobs came along and said, no, I want it big so I can see it and we can touch it and you can use it, and I want to be able to play music on it. And people went, yeah, that's a great idea. I will line up at midnight for a phone. And 19 years later, look at where we are. So that tech changed.
Okay. Well, getting back to the car for a second. All right.
Okay.
Let's say you got a car that can fly, and someone made it in their garage or something like that. Like, for example, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I knew you were going there.
How
Great
what-
car, great
So
car.
the minute that thing hits the sky, it's already broken like 9 laws, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Really?
So
Yes.
now, granted, when was that story taking place? Was it turn of the 20th century?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there might not have been laws on the books at that point for
Okay,
were
all right,
lame,
all right,
yeah,
okay,
but-
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, today you have such tight air regulation
Yeah,
No way.
that if
Shoot that fucker down in a minute, right?
yeah, there's a reason why we don't have flying cars, because people don't, the number of accidents on 680 or highway
Right, 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 right.
God, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
Now there have been some companies trying to make like self-flying small airplanes / cars, so
Yeah.
you can get from
Yeah.
San Francisco to San Jose
Okay.
Sure.
in like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and you would land at one of the corporate headquarters for this company, and then you're in San Francisco or you're in San
Yeah.
Jose.
I do want that.
Yeah.
Very badly. But
Yeah,
I don't want to name it anything, and I don't want it to have hippie colors on it or anything like that. I just want a flying car.
Well, I
okay?
heard a story that from a Ford executive, when it was posed to him, hey, what happened to the flying cars? We saw the Jetsons, we
Right.
expected to have flying cars now. His response was, we could give you the flying cars. That's not a problem. The problem is you wouldn't be able to afford it. And you get back to, Ford trying to make a car, a vehicle that people could pay for and own. And you're right. Sure, they can make that vehicle. They can make that flying car. And they can fill it with all kinds of technology to protect you from crashing into stuff. But it would be so expensive.
Yeah, I can see that.
It would be pointless for them to, why even bother investing? Because, I mean, we're talking like thousands of years before people would be able to afford it.
People are terrible on the real road.
Well, you got road rage or sky rage.
Sky Rage, right?
That's my new script, by the way. Sky Rage.
An Irwin Allen production.
So those are the self-driving car advocates who believe that when those are the norm, that you might still have the manual ability to take over, but generations that grow up with not driving, like they just get in something and go, auto accidents will go down.
Okay. All right.
That's true. I can see that.
Okay,
Right.
I can see that.
Interesting.
You're not going to have crazy people doing 80 and a 40 and
okay.
and
Or cutting off a giant truck.
yeah,
There is another side to it though, because when I see Waymos, my thing is, you know what? I can cut this guy off and he has to stop, and he's not going to give me the finger. So there are going to be a whole class of drivers to take advantage of that.
Right. Like the society in AI, the Spielberg film, where it's like they just abuse all the robots for fun, for spectacle,
Yeah.
So James, you're kind of saying that mankind is like kind of evil. We're gonna here's the
Kind
little
of.
Waymo guy. I'm trying to do the right thing and play by the rules. And as humans, we go, I'm gonna cut him off.
Just a few bad apples. Just a few bad
Just a
apples.
few.
So the challenge with predicting the future is no one's right when they do it. You get those who make bold predictions about, thanks to radio, we won't need classrooms anymore. Airplanes will just fly around broadcasting lessons. And everyone went, no, the kids need to go to school so they can learn how to interact with other people.
Yeah.
And if there's a pandemic, suddenly we learn that we can't handle everyone being at home.
Yeah, right.
So, because it's basically built-in childcare. So that way parents can go to work. And so again, that prediction was way off. My dad was of the generation that grew up with the interstate highway system as it was being built. And so he had the dream of like, I want a car and go places. And so you have the 1950s kids doing cross-country drives, and the families, we're going to go out to Yosemite and go camping. We're then going to go to Iowa. And that was their thing. And you have this generation that the kids just wanted to get a car. That still exists, but it's also changing, because you have the kids who are like, I need to work 3 jobs so I can buy my first car. And then you have those who just view it as a subscription that I'm going to call an Uber or a Lyft and I don't need a car anymore. And I don't know what's going to win out. It's probably going to be something in the middle.
Yeah.
Because there will always be gearheads, people who like noodling on something.
Yes.
And there'll be those who are like, I don't want to deal with that ever. So I'll just call a Lyft and go where I want to go.
Yeah.
I hate driving. If someone else can drive, I love that. I love that.
I like driving.
But
I love it.
see, Larry, you and I, we're made for
And
each other.
James,
And James.
Yeah.
But
I love driving.
you brought up children, and then we were talking about other forms of biological life. Where does it fit in legally a child who is not born the normal way, let's just say? And I'm not talking about cloning, but I'm talking about from the movie The Brood. Imagine if you're a thing that is born out of a sack of a lady who hates her husband and is going through a bad divorce. And she gives birth to these little murderous troglodyte people wearing onesies and running around with hammers. How would the law classify them? What are they?
Yeah, because they're literal children of rage.
Yes, which is my script, by the way.
So the law is not designed for that one. So it would make do with what we have. So it's like, all right, so that's the mother. Okay, so the mom could have parental liability for acts of the
That's it.
There's an argument there, and the limits
did she put the hammers in their hands, Matt?
Well, she left. They could get to them. That's the problem. She left hammers around and went, I don't know, whatever you guys want to do with them.
And they're not of age where they have their own they can take their own responsibility. They're still.
She's liable,
right?
She's right. She's doing time, and
So,
I think so. Going to foster care.
There are a variety of parental liability cases in the civil sense of parents getting sued for things that the kids do, and the amount that they get capped at varies upon state. I think California's like 20,000. Other states are at 5,000. But the criminal liability, there was a recent case, and I'll probably get some of the facts wrong, so I'll caveat it with I don't remember all the details. But dad was criminally liable for either getting the son a gun.
Oh, right.
Allow access to the gun, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first of a parent being criminally liable for that dangerous instrumentality going into the kid's hands.
Okay, but what if, following Matt's logic, if you're not born of kind of normal stuff, like let's look at The Omen. Okay, you're born of a jackal. So the father, from what we understand, is a priest who gets killed. Okay. So we have the Antichrist who was born of a jackal, but we don't see him physically do anything bad. There's just things that are bad that happen around him. So he's in the clear, right?
Oh God, it's been so long since I've seen The Omen.
But he has disciples too that do a lot of the work to protect him.
On the birth certificate, does it say Father Jackal?
No, it doesn't say Jackal.
Certificate number 666.
No, it doesn't say that. But it's like I would think that whatever the kid is in a family, he's put in a family, and the family, whatever happens to the kid, it follows family law rules basically. And Sean, you brought the disciples. So let's say a disciple says, well, Damien told me to do this. And the attorney would say, well, did he tell you? Did he write you a note?
Right.
And the disciple would go, well, no, but I felt it. I just knew.
Right.
I don't think that's not going to hold up, right?
That would not hold up in court, would it?
No, you would need to be able to show a conspiracy of some kind.
Right.
Or brainwashing.
Brainwashing cases have never worked. And so there are some cases from the 70s dealing with Moonies.
Like cults.
Yeah. And the Sirhan for killing Senator Robert Kennedy. He had numerous appeals claiming that there was some brainwashing taking place, and that those were all thrown out. with all of those claims. So like the brainwashing argument, I've seen 0 cases where that works. Now, if you can get into undue influence, like maybe you can, get something there, but there were a lot of parents trying to deprogram their kids who joined the Moonies.
Right.
Or some 70s cult, and it was problematic.
Got it.
Back when cults were a fun thing.
Remember the good old days.
Cults were hip. They were cool, man.
Oh, yeah. All the
Sticking
robes.
with children, slightly older children. Josh, do you recall the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
I do. And so there's a gentleman,
juicy legal things in that one.
So there's a gentleman who has this TikTok channel called Minor Character Theater, and he plays the corporate attorney for Willy Wonka. And it's bonkers. It is beautiful. I don't think the dude's a lawyer, but like he had all the right reactions for like the golden tickets going out. It's like you just created like illegal gambling and a lottery. And like it's like across the planet, like we've crossed too many lines here.
Really?
It's a lot to work out.
Yeah, because like the rules on lotteries are wild. And so I've done a little research for a lawyer buddy who really likes online gaming. And there are a bunch of gaming laws that prohibit it crossing into gambling. And so watching that like recap of Willy Wonka, it's like those started coming back as flashbacks of, that got problematic fast. Then
all over the place.
The waiver that they sign that like takes up the wall.
They sign a waiver.
That's right.
And they can't even read the fine print.
Yeah,
it's right.
That can't be legal.
So you need to have actual consent that you actually agree. You have to understand the risk.
Which means, okay, right.
You can have fine print, but you need to be able to read the fine print. Right. Like as soon as it turns into, I need a microscope to see this.
Right.
I think that would not be enforceable. I think that would be
highly as soon as the kid falls in the chocolate lake, isn't it kind of done? Like you're
liability.
Like, all right, everybody, we're getting out of here, and we'll see you in court.
Yeah.
Okay. Augustus Gloop wrecked it for everybody. Everyone. Okay.
He did.
Like, everyone has to leave now. James, who do you think would file the biggest lawsuit, though?
We know who that would be.
James, what do you think?
Well, I think Veruca Salt's dad was,
of course,
pretty, because she would put him up to it.
Right.
Oh, boy.
And they would have a team. Team.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Mark Daragos and.
But truthfully, she just fell down a chute. Just fell and got a little dirty. I mean,
but she's a little bitch. She's gonna milk every penny out of Wonka if she can.
Now, Josh, bear with me here. Didn't Willy Wonka say, "Stop! Don't do that. Come back"? Didn't he?
Is he covered? Is he covered now that he did that?
Maybe if he said that. Maybe
he say that, and there again, you could stand by the waiver and being able to go. You read this. You didn't follow the instructions.
That's right.
You assume the risk. I'm not saying there aren't arguments. I am definitely not saying they are good arguments, but you can come in with a straight face and argue, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the child's father signed this waiver, and
I like this character.
But Josh, you could also say, they signed the waiver when she went into her big bitch out session. I did say, stop. Come back. Don't do that. Right?
Is there a record of that, though?
Yeah.
If it's recorded, or witnesses.
There are multiple witnesses.
The only kid I think he didn't say that to was Augustus Gloop because he's, hey, kids, go, eat everything. And that piglet decided to go.
Piglet,
who does
really?
That? No, guys, seriously, who does that? You go into this candy room, and what you want to do is you want to go and stick your freaking face in the chocolate lake?
Augustus would, yeah.
Disgusting.
Sean, really?
It's gross. I agree.
No, I'm with you. I
wouldn't touch that
way.
river as soon as he stuck his face in it. No way.
Yeah. Okay, now it's just a big lake full of fat kid.
Yeah.
And you would need to drain the lake.
Yes.
And they
That's
do.
right.
They do.
Oh my
Can you
God.
imagine? They drain it, and the Oompa Loompas, oh man, I didn't know this was in here. They find stuff at the bottom.
There's all kinds of.
There's like 25 fat kids in the bottom.
I mean, look, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Now, I'm sure many of you, people out there who may have a swimming pool or something, when something happens where, we have to drain the pool, or hey, we have to drain the lake, and everyone, it happens to everybody. They drain it, and then they find something. Oh, heck. Did you know that was in there? No.
A possum or Band-Aids.
A frog, yes.
The real Willy Wonka.
Okay, jumping off of that idea for Wonka, what about this? What if, it's in the future and you got a new job. Hey, honey, I got a new job today. I'm going to be working for the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Okay, and you sign your startup papers. You sign the contract. Mm-hmm. Does Weyland-Yutani have to say in there somewhere, depending on your job or mission, you may be expendable?
You need to, for someone to assume the risk, they need to know what the risks are. Right. And if you are not disclosing a risk, or if you're fraudulent, I didn't watch all of Alien Earth. I stopped. But
I understand.
The waiver that the parent signed,
right,
I think would be unenforceable because you're signing away your kid, right, and they're committing fraud. Like they're saying that the kids died.
Oh, yeah, true.
And
right.
When they actually did survive the process.
Well, yes, and I also, if you,
they physically died, but their consciousness, whatever that is, how do you deal with that problem?
So the experiment was a success. And so when you're covering up the fact that the kids survived the process, that would make that waiver unenforceable.
Okay. Yes, like in the original Alien, when Mother tells Ripley, she sees it says crew expendable, but her reaction is, "Oh fuck!" But to me, I would guess that maybe all those characters on that ship, though, maybe they even were aware that this is the kind of mission, this is the kind of work that we are expendable, but we're going to do it. We need the money. But she was just still obviously upset when she saw fuck. Of course, we're expendable. They want the fucking alien. So,
Sean, what about this? When a corporation says, "Look, it's our standard boilerplate thing."
Yeah, exactly.
Please read it,
and you just sign it.
You look at it. You have 40 pages or 50 pages.
Exactly.
And Sean,
take this job and shove it.
So, on that note, there's something called the fireman's rule. That if you take an inherently dangerous job, you know that I'm going to go into a burning building because that's the job.
Right.
I'm a police officer. I know I'm going to get shot at. I'm a coal miner. I know I'm going into a mine that could collapse. So there are some jobs where you take the risk.
Right.
On the flip side, for the job to go, you're expendable, that would, I think, be problematic because you still have OSHA requirements. You can't, you still have to have a safe working environment. Because if you don't, we're all of a sudden playing Upton St. Clair. It's the jungle of people falling into the meat packing. It's like, well, now Bill is the chili. And we can't throw away all of this chili just because one worker got fell into the blender.
Chili is great. It's kind of hard to ruin it.
I love a good chili.
It's like, well, if Bob's now in the chili, it's ruined. Like he should not.
Or is it the best it's ever been?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Bob is the secret ingredient.
But see, Matt, you can't just, because we found, hey, the secret ingredient was Bob, you can't just say, well, we'll throw more people in there because you can't do that.
But we'd have to have volunteers. We'd have to have people to go, you want to give your life for chili? And then they would, the overriding success of this project is more important.
Why was Bob special? Was he like of Sicilian and descendants and like just had pizza beforehand? Like was he well marbled? Like there's all these factors that could go in.
Oh yeah, no.
Did he just finish a Greek meal?
Yeah, it's like
Wagyu Bob.
Yeah, again, runs marathons. But the point is, you still have to have a safe work environment and. If you take the position that it's okay for the people to die in order for us to get this highly dangerous animal.
And also the Nostromo crew was actively misled.
But see, that's the part that confuses me then about aliens, because when you get to aliens and you've got all the people from the corporation and they're all interrogating Ripley, and why did you blow up the ship and everything? I would think that she'd have a case right from when Ash allowed the thing on board,
Right.
Yeah,
But you see, it's all her word, though. That's the thing.
Well,
Ash
there
isn't
might
there.
There had to be records, right? Or
Yeah, there may have been some data.
They say there is some stuff that acknowledges some of the stuff that you say, but because she was in the little spaceship, the little one that was sent,
escape pod.
the escape pod, all the other information is gone. So it's her telling the story. This is what happened with Ash. This is what happened with Kane. And for them, for all these people, they look at it and go, well, how do we know you didn't kill your crew and set the place on fire? They don't know.
Well, but Larry, what about then when she's talking to all those people on the board, and then you flash back in Alien where she finds out that the crew's expendable and all this stuff from the computer.
That is true.
They're behind that. So
true.
Wouldn't that be? But I guess there would have to be some sort of proof, that a record that proves that, and I guess she didn't have it.
Right.
But that's just, we're not going to listen to the sole survivor, like that kind of logic. There's gaslighting. There have been some great memes about, so the one smart lady that wanted us to follow protocol and not let the biohazard on board, and the dudes are the ones that get everybody else killed. We're just going to discount her again.
Right.
And say that colony is probably fine. Don't worry about Hadley's stuff.
But see, all throughout history, we've heard this story many times, and this is stuff that's built on facts, where a large corporation, a big company, will lie, cheat, steal, or manipulate to get their way. Well, we didn't know. Not really a genre film, but Aaron Brockovich, where PG&E says, they actually help. They help some of the people. Hey, look, we're going to give you money to go see the doctor. We don't know why this is happening to you.
Right.
And they seem like they appear as if they're doing something nice. But the reality is they've known for years that this water would cause all this cancer and stuff.
Right.
So it's always suspect when you look at the large corporation and go, oh, yeah, they're telling the truth. It's hard. It's just, we've heard this story many times before, and it's been backed up with facts.
And they have so many resources too.
It's also why we have very good plaintiff lawyers that take on cruel corporations. So I went to an e-discovery event many years ago, and e-discovery is like data and litigation. And so it's a room full of lawyers and judges and people who are corporate counsel at different companies. And this one guy represented a power company, and he was kind of indignant when anyone, with all the people who sue the power company for, wrongful death and, and other reasons, and lost the room because he's complaining about, it came across as him saying, we're the power company. We can kill whoever we want.
Yeah.
For some reason.
That should be their logo.
Yeah, it's like everyone just kind of crossed their arms while he talked. It was
right.
It was wrong thing to say.
No.
It's one thing to go, we got a lot of frivolous lawsuits and people making claims that are just illegitimate. That stuff happens, but you can't take a tone-deaf position when you have power companies that can be found liable for causing giant fires that wipe out towns. You don't get that luxury of complaining when you are the ones who are causing the problems.
Yeah.
It's like cheering for the power company in Silkwood. There are those who are I'm for the whistleblowers dying. It's really? Whose side are you on?
Right.
Well, it's also I would think a self-defeating legal strategy, because you're not going to gain anyone's sympathy in the courtroom.
Right.
No, it's just pure power. You need us.
Yeah.
You like running water. You like having light.
Right. But that's what's the scary thing about corporations, though. It's
Yeah. And imagine you've got a group of people that, sure, they're not as big as Monsanto, but they're a group of people that want to deal with all these rabbits that have invaded an area after their coyotes were killed off and their predators are all gone. And so through their scientific meddling, they create giant rabbits. Now, are they held liable then for?
Yes,
They would be.
absolutely.
Phoebus Law.
How can you argue that? Come on.
So you could say,
How would they know that the rabbits were going to grow to be huge?
So first off, you're conducting wild experiments, and that can cause strict liability. You throw in wild animals, and sure, it's like, oh, it's just a little bunny rabbit, and then when you turn it into a giant savage rabbit, strict liability. It's like having a pet bear or a pet tiger, and then it goes on, a mauling spree. You're going to be strictly liable. So sure, your epitaph being nibbled to death by a giant rabbit is not dignified, and you might say, lie about how I went out. Like,
but like, let's say, sure, it's giant, but when the rabbit was normal size, it was into carrots and celery. We had no idea it was going to go after people.
But then there's also the fact that this was a research animal and it wasn't intended to be released in the wild. It happened to be released by a little girl.
Yeah,
it wasn't intentional. So what is the liability for that if it's strictly in a research environment but happens to get out?
I would say it's strictly liability because you were conducting an experiment and the experiment got out. The fact we have strict liability is to keep people from doing crazy things like, I'm going to take out this tree stump with dynamite and not think about where the tree stump's going to land.
What's wrong with that?
And there's case law about that because the tree landed on somebody's car. Or
oh my God.
It's like, or if you've seen the footage from it's like 1970s, early 70s in Oregon, where they decided to get rid of a dead whale that washed up with explosives
on the beach.
On the beach.
Oh God!
It is hysterical to watch because the detonation happens, and then you start hearing the blubber raining down, and it's like people. It is awesome.
Oh my God!
That'll
damage cars.
Yeah,
that'll ruin your chili.
Blubber.
There's a reason why no one's ever done it since. Like no one.
Wow.
It's like maybe if we had some F4s do like a napalm strike. It's like,
oh my God! Wow.
If we learn anything from this, dynamite is not always the answer.
No,
not always. Not always.
There might be some limited circumstances.
I mean, Josh, if the bunny got I think it's Lepus Law, but if
Lepus
someone
Law,
creates an
my other
environment where the Lepus rabbit gets out, if your Lepus gets out, to me, it's like, you didn't do a good job protecting the public from this Lepus. Isn't
it kind of like a pit bull, a pet pit bull?
Well, it's like if you have a dangerous animal or a dangerous scientific experiment, okay, do your thing.
Put it on a leash.
You got to have your protections to make sure that it can't get out into the real world, whether it be a lepus or a giant gorilla.
Don't make a fence out of carrots.
Well, and there's a line between, like when you get into the dog bite cases.
Yeah.
That if it's the domestic animal that does, the biting, there are times when that could be different standards apply. And so, but when you get into like the inherently dangerous animal or the wild animal, so I did a few posts about King Kong, like, and there's lots of monkey law about apes getting out at zoos and people being strictly liable, which is why it's so great with Son of Kong that Denham is getting sued to oblivion.
That's right.
That's
right. I like that. That was good. That was cool. Yeah.
And it highlights, so Marion Cooper, his brother was an attorney. And so
really
ultimately did work for Eisenhower as coming up with space law and regulations for, the early days of aviation post World War II during the 50s. And I know that because Monty Cooper, the grandnephew, is an IP attorney who's a really good friend. And so Monty's been on a bunch of our kaiju panels and we've done
He's a great guy.
Dude's solid, wonderful person.
But, you bring up a good point. And I think it's kind of obvious. The person really responsible for the whole King Kong fiasco is Carl Denham. Yeah. If he would have left King Kong
Yeah.
on the island,
Mm-hmm.
everything would have been fine. You know?
We're millionaires, boys. I'll share it with all of you.
Well, I think it was Bobby Slayton who brought it up. You want to bring the gorilla and not a dinosaur? We couldn't find a little dinosaur that we could bring and put in a zoo. Wouldn't that have been safer than the gorilla? But
Fay Ray dancing around, isn't that enough?
That's true.
Well, important. I think the more dangerous person is Mr. Taco from King Kong vs.
right.
Godzilla. Because he was hell-bent for his pharmaceutical company to have Kong as their mascot and thinking it was good marketing. Like, no corporate attorney was involved with that. Because, like, if that had been at a board meeting of the lawyer sitting there going, no.
Same thing with Charles Grodin in the 70s King Kong.
Right.
The oil.
Yeah.
Josh, maybe if they gave him a little more that, like, didn't King Kong have the special juice that he could drink and he kind of passed out a little bit? If you kept giving him that, maybe he'd be like an alcoholic ape or something, or be more manageable or something.
Would he though?
I think we're going to cross into some cruelty to animals.
It'd be fun. It'd be Foster Brooks Kong.
One thing if you're hanging out
of gorillas.
So if it's Skull Island, or I don't remember what the island was in King Kong vs. Godzilla.
Faroe Island, wasn't it?
Faroe Island. Yeah.
Thank you, James. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're just hanging out with the big ape and like you guys go on adventures together and you're friends. That's different. Like that's something we could all get on board with.
Mighty Joe Young kind of a relationship.
Yeah. That actually could be lots of fun, and people would be down for that.
That's what I've heard.
Josh, you brought up King Kong. I did have a question for you about Godzilla. If Godzilla, Shin Godzilla is fantastic because it shows what would go on behind the scenes with all the bureaucracy. Okay. But if you imagine in, let's say, a Godzilla film from the 60s or something, Godzilla comes out and he stomps on your house. I mean, you could say, well, who's liable? The government? Well, isn't that considered, it's an act of God, Godzilla? And so
nice.
Thank you for asking. I love doing Godzilla posts and Godzilla content. So it brings me joy. There is a lot there. So with those issues, so let's break down a couple. Insurance kicks in, and insurance gets weird fast. So if Godzilla steps on your house, that's likely covered.
But it's not a fire or a flood.
Not my insurance.
But if Godzilla coming ashore brings a tsunami and you don't have flood insurance, that might not be covered.
That's how they get you.
Or if Godzilla uses the atomic breath, is there a nuclear exclusion policy?
True.
That could kick in. So there's some different levels there. Generally, some of the cases that I try to use to figure this out on like who pays for acts of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Some might fall to local governments that they're the ones responsible for emergency services. So police, fire, all of that could, the city of San Francisco could be bearing the cost for the 2014 event. But because of the number of people that were involved, the federal government would have to get You would need now, which is one of the brilliant things about Monarch season 1. We see the aftermath, and FEMA's there, and they have temporary housing set up for people in Alameda Point, which makes sense. That's where the people from San Francisco would be in while San Francisco gets condemned. That would be super expensive.
Isn't everybody dying of radiation poisoning though?
Good question. They tried covering that by saying Godzilla absorbed the radiation from the nuke that went off.
That's nice.
Convenient, as opposed to everyone gets a Silkwood shower. Like that would
too soon.
Yeah, too soon. No. Like, Daddy's very sorry that the steel wool and bleach and
right. Yeah.
It's like, everyone's having a bad day at that.
Yes.
Right.
So insurance, FEMA would have to get involved, and you're going to have to see the federal government with a recovery plan, much like you would after any giant natural disaster.
Right.
Whether it's something like, it's like, think back after Hurricane Katrina,
Yeah.
where people are like, I'll take the one-way ticket to Dallas or to LA. And when that disaster happened, like California has really strict laws for attorneys, so we don't have reciprocal agreements with other states for people. Like if you're licensed in Louisiana, you just can't waive into California. We lifted those rules. So yeah, so you were in New Orleans and got hit, you can now practice law in California and get your money back.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's it was. I don't know how long they were allowed to do that.
Yeah, have they closed that? Have they closed that?
I'm pretty sure they have, because of it's been 19 years.
Yeah.
But we wanted people to succeed, and other states did similar things because at our core we're decent, and we want to help.
I like to think so.
I still believe.
But see, now I don't know about that, because I would think that if you have an active Godzilla, the fact that this is something that no one could foresee, I would think that the insurance companies would use that as their wedge of, okay, no one saw this coming. Because as you were saying with that, whoa, you don't have flood insurance. Well, you don't have Godzilla insurance, so we're not covering it.
In one of the legendary movies, I think it was Godzilla vs. Kong as opposed to X Kong, there's a radio ad for Titan Insurance. Which I don't think would be a good idea, because where are you going to get that? It's the concept of insurance is a good thing, but as soon as Godzilla steps ashore, you're going to have problem. Or Rodan does a flyby. How do you?
Oh yeah.
And if the pool is made up of everyone in North America, and Portland gets hit, does the pooling? So it's not by state, but it's literally the entire continental United States. Is that pool enough? To pay that off?
Yeah.
And this statistically can't happen too often.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be like earthquake insurance. We have it, but we haven't had an 8.0 in a long time.
Right.
But when you look at Northridge or 1989, that was bad, and it's a reminder of we should probably go have insurance. Or again, there are complicated issues with insurance in California, but if you had a place where Godzilla liked to go, that area might become very hard to insure.
See, I thought if you lived in someplace like Wyoming and you wanted Godzilla insurance, your Godzilla insurance would be very low.
Yeah.
But if you live by a coast
or Tokyo,
the Godzilla insurance would probably be very high.
Right.
Godzilla comes out of the water, and
it's
like trying to insure Oliver Reed.
Uninsurable.
Yeah, the fact that you got Oliver Reed, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
High deductible.
Yes.
Think of the last Godzilla X Kong movie where Godzilla's just nesting in the Roman Colosseum.
Yes.
That would be what do you do? It's okay, this is a historic site.
Right.
And we have all of these preserved places that we want to keep. And it's sort of like a giant cat and just going down a canal.
Yeah.
Do you just clear the bridges and go it's his home now? We're just going to live this way.
Right. That's the first page of the Godzilla calendar, like a kitten calendar.
Right.
And, the people who live there is this is life now.
Yeah, you adapt. Right.
Look, I sympathize with Italy, okay? But on the flip side, you could use it as a beneficial thing. You could say, okay, but since he's sleeping there for a while, we've got the tourism rights here. So they can see Godzilla from a distance.
How do you insure that?
But on the flip side,
it's like a volcano, Matt. Like a volcano.
But no other kaiju are going to come in. So it's statistically, this might be the safest place while he's napping. And if he's known for napping for a decade, you might be okay.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Let's make sure he has a clear path out.
Yeah.
Shin Godzilla. That makes more sense. But if you have no idea when he's going to wake up, then tourism, I don't know.
Somebody take as a challenge. They're I'm going to do it, man. I'm hardcore. I'm going to go as close to Godzilla as I can, man.
Exactly. There's going to be a blogger somewhere.
Exactly.
I'm going to do this.
Can you
Check it out,
imagine?
dude. It's Godzilla's eye. I'm right behind it.
I'm
man.
right. I am standing on Godzilla's eye.
Selfies.
You know
Push-
what, Matt?
Hit
You
subscribe.
You are so right. And
Yeah,
then he
exactly.
goes, "You dare me to poke him in the eye? Here,
Yeah.
look, I'm poking him."
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what's going to get us killed. An influencer.
exactly. You're right. Yeah, the Godzilla influencers. Gotta hate him, man.
You got me so depressed right now. We're like,
I'm sorry. That was not my.
YouTubers out there. I'm gonna poke Godzilla in the eye.
Yeah, no, that was not my intention. But I have a question about what could be allowed. I guess this would be a global thing, but I've been thinking about Squid Game.
Oh
And-
yeah.
Oh,
And so, and I've been mulling this thing over about to have Squid Game where it's a voluntary thing, even if it is coerced because of someone's financial situation. Is there a way you could have a Squid Game somewhere where everybody does sign off on the risks and everything else? And how far legally do you think, aside from like having it in, North Korea or something like that, but how far could you take it short of them saying, we're going to murder you if you lose the game?
The fact that it's predicated upon great bodily harm and killing people, I don't think you're going to pull that off. And they tried doing a real life Squid Game and it didn't get far. There was something happened that derailed it, and I don't know.
The game show?
Yeah, they were actually going to do
obviously they didn't really die, but there was like a right.
Somebody got injured.
Was it actually aired or did it not air at all?
Yeah, I don't think.
No, I saw what I saw. It was after Netflix, after the whole second season. There was a real Squid Game where it was real people and they were all competing in similar things and they were all kept in the same room where they all had to sleep and stuff, but nobody died.
Well,
It's like paintball, right?
No. It was various things and you were eliminated and then you had to leave. And that prevented you from getting the money.
Which is just like lots of competition reality.
Right, yeah.
Like Survivor, if you will.
Yeah.
Right.
I would hate to be the guy writing the waiver on some of those shows. It's like, we're going to leave you in the woods naked. Like,
right.
The paperwork involved for that.
Oh my!
Like,
I have to tell you, I know one of the attorneys on Naked and Afraid, and he's an executive.
Really?
And he told me, he said, and I asked him about it. I go, God, the liabilities. He goes, Larry, we have people who are willing to pay us to be on that show. There are people who are fanatical about their survival skills. They have a huge list of people who want to participate on that show. I want to say that's America. That's human nature. There are people who would actually pay money to be on the show and be on Naked and Afraid, which boggles my mind. But he said, you would be surprised.
Yeah, but as soon as somebody truly gets hurt, like loses an arm or dies, is when the lawsuits begin. And so, because there's just some things you can't waive. Now, we're not that different from gladiators. Like, when you look at professional sports, I have family members that love football, and like I watch a game, it's like that looked painful. Like I like baseball. And when I was recently at Disneyland, the Savannah Bananas and the Clowns were there.
Oh.
And like I've now watched some clips of those guys. It's like they're doing something different. Like you don't expect to get hurt in some games. Like there's the normal risk but you don't expect someone to pull a gun on the field. Like that kind of
that rollerball.
Yeah, it's
like there's a waiver for you, rollerball.
Yeah.
Do you ever think we would get to there, Josh? I mean,
we'll get there.
Law can figure out anything. That's what the law can figure out anything. They can create something that says you understand that this could happen. Josh, isn't that true?
I fear that being possible.
See, I'm right.
I follow a different set of morals.
Yes,
and
you do. God bless.
And wanting people to be safe and no one to get hurt. And there are those who like risk activities. A dating adventure years ago, this person I was going to go on a date with, she suggested for the first date a 50-mile bike ride.
Oh,
And I went
50 miles?
50. I was like, it's like, I'm glad you're a nurse because I'll be throwing up. Like I haven't ridden 5 miles in years.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's like this is a bad plan. I'm not doing it.
No.
Just no. And like what turned into the date was to go kayaking up in Sausalito. I was like,
all right, there you go.
It was like, it's blowing 30. There are white caps. I was like, we are not going out in this.
Wow.
It's like, I'm a skilled boater. This is an after-school special waiting to happen. I would never live it down. Like, if the Coast Guard has to pull my rear end out of the water.
That would be embarrassing, yeah.
No. And so I said no.
I don't, you know what? I'm proud of you.
Good for you.
I'm proud of you. I watch a lot of these. One of the things I enjoy when I want to watch just bullshit on TV, I'll go to YouTube and I'll watch these 6 horrible things that happened in the wilderness because the wilderness terrifies me. That's why I love folk horror. And the minute, forget it, I'll walk through the shittiest neighborhood, but you put me in a bunch of trees and a shitty tent in the middle of and there's nobody around, and then like that's when I get scared. And yet, you know, you watch these videos and it's one after the other of. Sometimes they do shit like stealth camping. That's a thing where you like go on somebody else's land and set up a tent. And stay the night. And then they're surprised when the owner comes around with a rifle and like, oh shit, I got to get out of here. I've never been more scared. Well, because you're stealth camping. and then the other one I love is they go someplace and then they start hearing all these noises and they're like, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. I know. Because you're in the fucking woods. How did you not expect that maybe a bear at some point was going to come after you?
A grizzly bear at that.
Yes. And bears don't fuck around. I mean, and I've watched enough of these things where it's like, I watched one where there were 3 people on a hill and they're like, oh, look at the bears down there. And these bears caught sight of them and started running toward them. And they're like, oh, they're getting a little closer. Hey, they're getting a little too close. And I don't understand it, Josh. So I get you. I get you.
You know, you bring up a good thing because I've seen some of these of, I mean, we live in this culture where people want to get their selfie, the pictures with their phone. Oh, I got to get closer to take a video. Yeah. What about the people, is it Montana, where the buffalo are? And it's like, you don't want to mess with a giant buffalo. And I've seen the video, you hear the guy filming it go, get away from it. Don't get close. Get
the fuck away.
And the buffalo turns, and this one, like, this guy literally jumped in the back of the car, and the buffalo ripped the back end of one of the doors off the car. I didn't even know that was possible. And it goes with like a giant moose, elk with antlers.
They weigh tons.
They're beautiful animals, but they're wild people.
Yeah, but don't fuck with them.
Just leave them alone.
Exactly.
Go home.
But Josh, if you're in Montana and there's buffalo on, you know, and you get out of your car and go, hey, I want to see the buffalo, and the buffalo tramples you, I mean, you're responsible.
Yeah, that's all right? Right?
Yeah,
I technically should have sympathy, but
if
the
buffalo,
I mean, like if someone's deciding to test Darwin. Like, it's like, you know, there's the rule about like, don't pet the fluffy cow. That's like, stay away. Like, they're a wild animal.
Yeah.
Circle of life is kicking in an ugly way. Stay away. You can do photography from a safe distance.
Yeah.
We have telephoto lenses.
Zoom in. Bird watch. You know, collect flowers. But don't, like, it's like the people that run with the bulls, which is cruel. Coming out of the gate. And I hate to be this person, but anytime one of them flips somebody, I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I'm that person for sure.
Yeah. Get him. That's true. That's what I want to happen.
I remember when I was in law school, there was a parody ad about like Running of the Bulls, and I don't remember what it was for, but it was called The Running of the Squirrels. And someone saying like, I've lost many friends to the squirrels. And again, 25 years later, still makes me giggle. Like it.
That's like a Willard movie.
Yeah.
Where he's just, it's just Willard running with a bunch of rats.
Running
of the rats.
Nice.
I'm going to get that going.
Josh, this has been so much fun. I mean, we talked
awesome.
about like replicants, robots, and leapuses. I mean, this is the Willy Wonka. This has been great. But what do you say we just throw out a couple ideas, just a couple of legal things, really quickly? That's something that would be quick that Josh could answer. Anyone?
Okay, I'll jump in. One of the most famous courtroom scenes in movie history, Miracle on 34th Street, where Grandpa Joe decides in the post office to deliver all the Santa mail to Kris Kringle at the post office. And then the judge, because he's worried about re-election, says, yeah, okay, you know what? He's Santa Claus. Do you think that holds water, Josh? Do you think that that's actually realistic?
No, but it's a brilliant argument.
But Josh, the judge rules. The judge rule. Are you saying that the funky man who brought the lawsuit would say, I'm going to take this to the Supreme Court? You think that would happen?
No, because the case gets dismissed and you can't retry him. And it's Miracle on 34th Street is the hero Christmas courtroom movie that we deserve. And it is brilliant. There are so many wonderful legal. I have holiday specials on that. James, great call out. Yes, he rules it. There are cases that have ruled a house is haunted. So, so like failure to disclose poltergeist, that sort of deal. But saying like, yeah, he's Santa. Yeah, that's the ruling. And the judge was getting pressure from his wife.
Yeah.
And it's very bad if you're the DA and your wife brings your kid to testify against you in a case.
That's powerful.
Sleeping on the couch. You are, when your wife is glaring, you didn't have to do this. And you decided to.
Nice.
And it's Christmas.
But be that as it may, Josh, if it still happened, it doesn't matter. The judge ruled whatever his logic. We have criticisms over judges or even the Supreme Court over decisions they make. But if they make that ruling, if you don't like it, you could try and take it up a little further. But to me, I think it would just stand. I don't know if a court above there, it wouldn't be worth it, I think, also.
Well, and procedurally, it wouldn't get appealed because it was a medical confinement, like a 5150 hold, because this guy said he was Santa. And if it's thrown out and he's released, that you don't get a retrial of that.
Double jeopardy?
It's not double jeopardy. Well, okay, biggest sense, yeah, because you can't try someone for the same crime twice. It's like, unless he did something new. But maybe
here's another quick one. In The Boys, is the Vought Corporation liable for the actions of the seven if they cause fatalities of bystanders?
Yes.
So they could get sued big time.
Yes.
That's something that you don't see often on that show.
No. And it's a great show. There's a lot to be said, and so I'm trying to honor lightning round with yes or no.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Josh.
Josh.
That's like a completely different episode.
Yeah,
whole superhero thing. Okay,
yeah,
nice ones, James.
Okay, but going off of superheroes, here's one I think that maybe would be an interesting one to ask, which is, let's say Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk, and while he's the Hulk, he either causes great damage to property or injures or maybe even kills somebody accidentally. Does the Hulk have the same rights as a regular human? Because when he did it, he was the Hulk.
I would say yes, because it's the only framework that we have. I think there's a good argument that Banner is not responsible because he's not competent. He's not in control when the Hulk's doing his thing.
Correct. Yeah.
There's also some comic lines about the Hulk is always doing advanced math in his head, which is why people aren't getting killed in Marvel Comics, because he's like figuring out trigonometry and geometry, like before punching people. And it's like, okay, that's a good way to explain the lack of the body count.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, here's one more then. From the classic film The Wolfman, could Larry Talbot, could he have sued Bela the Gypsy for an animal attack?
Oh,
Yes.
Because Bela the Gypsy became a werewolf,
Yes.
much more actual wolf. And while doing that, he bit Larry Talbot, not even thinking about the fact that Talbot now is cursed and will turn into a werewolf, but he bit him, he injured him.
So
You
if
know,
Bela had lived,
yes.
I would say yes, because if you're a werewolf, you know when the moon's going to be full because you're going to probably start paying attention to that.
Yes.
if you
Yes.
go,
Agreed.
It's going to be a full moon. I need to be in the dungeon.
Right.
You know,
Right.
not because
You have to be responsible lycanthrope and chain yourself up.
yeah.
But Sean, I would go a step further. I wanted to ask this, Josh. So we know Bela Lugosi gets killed, okay? But the bite has still been made.
Right.
Can Larry Talbot go after Bella's estate?
Yes.
True,
I
true.
would. And the issue of like, was his mom a co-conspirator? Because with the way that the way that mom steps up to help Larry, especially in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, she turns into, I'm going to help Mr. Talbot because he now has the curse that my son had.
Maria Uspenskaya. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I figured that was the case as far as the legality of that. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That's my two.
All right, so Twin Peaks. I've been watching all of Twin Peaks, and I've been really enjoying it. But I've been wondering, when I watch Agent Cooper doing his police work, and he's using dream states and all these Tibetan rituals and all these different things to get information, does it matter how someone gets the information as long as it turns out to be credible? Like, does it matter if the evidence comes from a vision or something like that, as long as he's able to back that up in real life?
I would hope there's some independent sources you can point to, because the idea of going into court and saying the probable cause is from my dream state probably won't fly. I might keep that inside. But being able to, we're not going to talk about dream walking today. We're going to talk about on a hunch after I did some research, talking to the lady with the log. I then went and looked this up, and it was a good cup of coffee.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter that you talked to the log lady as long as what the log lady told you turned out to be actual evidence.
Yeah, because you need to be able to get to the evidence, and you want to avoid like a fruit of the poisonous tree situation of like something that's gotten illegally that you then just can't use everything that came from that, because there are cases that we have that rule to deter bad police conduct, and there are many examples. Like one was the guy gets arrested like murdering a kid or kidnapping a kid, something bad, and he's exercising his right to shut up. And so the police officers are driving him, and it's around Christmas time, and the cops are talking about it'd be good for the family to be able to have a Christian burial for their kid before Christmas in order to get the guy to talk. And like that could be a form of coercion. So you want, and thus everything that came from that, was the fruit of the poisonous tree. So there again, there are different elements to meet with. We want police officers to stand for justice, which I believe they do. Thus,
and Agent Cooper absolutely did.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now, granted, I've never watched Twin Peaks all the way through. When it aired when I was a kid, I was just a little too young for it, and
I get it.
And it was like not like David Lynch was not my wheelhouse at age 12.
I understand.
But I know how much Dana Gould loves it from his podcast, and
I fucking love it. Yeah.
I did love the David Lynch Dune, so it's something I should look at.
Okay. All right. The Necronomicon. If you know a book can be used to open dimensions that let entities in that could destroy all of mankind, can owning or distributing this book be a crime?
I would say yes. And so you get because you're putting an inherently dangerous instrumentality out there. Is there adequate warning on it? We have rules for like you just can't go buy a gun. Like, do you know what? Let's go to the 24-hour gun store and like we're all gonna get guns and ammo.
Sure.
It's like there are background checks, like there are requirements, so you just don't go do that. Same with like, I would really like some dynamite. Like you just,
Again with the dynamite.
I want to blow up a whale again.
It's like go back, but the answer no. You just don't
Right.
do that.
But unless
Right.
it's, of course, unless the book is acquired by, secretive ways, and
And if the book itself is under lock and key in a museum or something like that, I'm assuming that might be a different situation than, you can get it at,
Amazon.
Barnes and Noble.
yeah, get on Amazon.
It's like I have this plutonium and I just keep it in my condo. Like that, there's gonna
Right.
be
Okay. Right.
literal
Yeah.
fallout from that.
Right.
Okay. And then finally, the human centipede.
Oh my God. Really?
Who's liable? in that?
Really? Everybody
You're bringing
talks
that
about
up?
Yeah, because look, everybody talks about what the doctor did to them, but what about what those three people did to each other? Can they sue each other? Can one person sue the person in front of him for what they had to endure? If you know what I mean, Josh.
There are things I don't want to think about.
You better think about this.
So there are issues of you've endured something horrible. Do you then do something horrible into somebody else, or do you all die together? It breaks my brain. I would say
I did it, guys.
Yeah, just say no. Just say no.
So I'm gonna have to find a different lawyer. Great.
Yeah, like that. I'm out. I'm out. There might be someone who focuses on human centipede law. I am not.
Better call Saul.
Right.
Wow. Well, we'll have to save that for another time. This has been
Perfect
great.
capper.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't think we'd end with the human centipede, but this has been great.
It's been great. Yes,
Josh,
it's been enlightening.
Josh, I love it when we pose these questions to you, and you're so great at just giving us these sides, and I just enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us tonight.
It's really cool.
Now, look, I know that you've got that great podcast. Is there anything that you're doing that people can see or check out, or what's going on with the Legal Geeks?
Boy, howdy, is there, Larry. Thank you for that. So we were recently at WonderCon, and we had a panel on Fallout, the TV show.
Cool.
Which I attended, and it was a lot of fun.
It was and the Fallout fans are amazing. Like seeing people in the NCR uniforms and battle armors, like beautiful fans. Full video is on our YouTube channel. That
nice.
James's buddy filmed, and James took stills, and so beautiful. It was a ton of fun.
Cool.
It's by the time this comes out, it should be May 5th. We have a special coming out on May 4th. Larry helped with this. So for years, I've wanted to do a mock war crimes trial of General Veers from Empire Strikes Back.
Oh.
Veers led the assault on Hoth. He is in the movies, one of the few competent Imperials.
Mhm.
He's also defendable, which is nice, because you look at someone like Grand Moff Tarkin, I'm going to go blow up a planet. There's no defense for that.
Right. Yeah.
That trial, it's like, is it important to have the trial? Yes, because we want to show due process. So even the worst among us still get a trial. Something that Tarkin didn't give to the 8 billion people on Alderaan.
Yeah.
Just summary execution of a planet. Veers is the competent Imperial. So we set up a full-blown mock trial. And
Wow.
I had one of my buddies from law school played Veers. Larry's sister played the other female character in Empire Strikes Back who has lines. And
Wow.
yeah, so there's the communications officer on Hoth, her name's Far, says like fire ion cannon. So again, the other woman with a line in Empire Strikes Back stands next to Leia, and because apparently Lucas and Kushner don't understand ladies, neither one of them acknowledge the other's existence.
Right.
It's like you watch this, like, wait, that's not how human beings interact. So again, there's that. But again, we did a deep cut character because we needed a prosecution witness. And another buddy played the prosecutor, and another friend played the defense attorney for Veers. Larry's buddy did the editing. We had 4 cameras. And it was the
Nice.
most
Wow.
complicated geek project I've done. So it's one thing to do a panel at Comic-Con, which is complicated because you're putting it all together.
Right.
We had the 2 GoPros facing, each speaker. So that way you could get the straight on shots. And we have the DSLR set up at angles off to the side. So that way you get the side shots of them. And then we made it black and white. Because I wanted it to look like Judgment at Nuremberg.
Nice.
I love Spencer Tracy's line at the end at like, Herr Yaring, it came to that as soon as you sentenced the first person you knew to be innocent to death. And I wanted that vibe to this fan film. And that's edited. It's ready to go. It's going to go live on May 4th.
Wow.
We have all the social media queued up, ready to go, because on May 4th, myself and some very good friends are going to Disneyland to celebrate Star Wars Day.
Cool.
That's right. May the 4th be with you, of course.
Very cool.
Of course.
So if you're listening to this on Revenge of the 5th, you can go to our YouTube channel, The Legal Geeks TV on YouTube, and watch this fan film. I'm very proud of it.
But it's real attorneys. It's a real judge. I mean, they have their arguments, and they are terrific.
That's great. That's a really great idea.
Arguments. So yeah, it was great to be a part of it, Josh.
I can't wait to see it.
Fantastic job.
Well, also because that character, it's a kind of a small part in that movie, but Julian Glover, who plays he stands out so well.
Yes.
I mean, great actor, but also just it's a great role. I mean,
but it's interesting because he's a military guy.
Yeah.
I work for the military. So
that's cool.
Well, that, and again, he's the secondary material for him, like from the comics and some of the like the Fall of the Empire book that just has references to like his actions. None of them look like war crimes. There's no like we should then shot all the civilians, because like if that happened, I would not have used that character, because I want people to think about this. What do you do?
Yeah.
And so the comparable real life character was Grand Admiral Dönitz, who led the German Kriegsmarine during World War II, who refused to issue Hitler's order to sink lifeboats. He wanted, Hitler wanted the U-boats to go out and kill survivors, give no quarter. And that's a war crime, and he refused to give it. And after Hitler's suicide, and the other guy commits suicide, leaving him, he's now the president of Germany for 10 days and does the surrender. So his war crimes trial was fascinating. And so there was a bunch of the inner circle that we convict, and I wanted to have something comparable. I didn't want to be a slam dunk. I want people to think about, what do you do? It's like Rommel being on trial.
But you put a lot into it, Josh. I think you did a really great job.
That's cool. I'm definitely going to check it out.
That's what it sounds like.
So again, for listeners, if they want to see it, they go to YouTube. And where do they go? They go to
The Legal Geeks. And this would not have happened without Larry. Larry was the ultimate wingman, bringing all of his skills to bear, and daughter, niece, sister, because I had people back out because of different. I had multiple people back out because of different conflicts that came up.
Josh, you got to sue those people.
No, but the cool thing that I found is, I've watching Josh do these things for years and years, and here he does this thing, and I help him out. Yeah, but Josh has a lot of other tricks up his sleeve. He has a lot of other things that he wants to do in the future. So check this out. Check out the Legal Geeks, the Jaws trial. That's a thing he did at Comic-Con. There's other things too, but it gives you a really great idea of the law with the genre stuff. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Thank you, Larry. And, secretly, I really want to direct. So
duh.
Well, who doesn't? You're looking at four wannabe directors here.
All right, this has been awesome.
Now say that again with meaning.
Feeling.
All right. Well, Josh, thanks again for being on the show, guys. What do you say we give a toast to Josh Gilliland and to the Legal Geeks and to Legal Geeking.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm legal geeking out.
Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out.
I'm suing that shout out.
As you should.
Well, guys, voting has closed for the Rondo Awards this
That's
year.
right.
And we have received so many supportive messages from so many listeners who said that they've come out and voted for us for best podcast. And even though the results aren't in yet, I got to say that I'm just really touched that so many of our listeners have supported us that way.
Yes.
And we just want to thank everybody who took the time, sent an email, and voted for Monster Party, because, I mean, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And we are really excited about this year, and we think we got a great chance.
Yeah. And that's why it's so meaningful. So we thank everyone so much who took the time. Much, much, much appreciated. And, when the results are counted and announced, we'll all be crossing our fingers.
Yeah.
That's right. And we'll thank you again, no matter what the answer is.
Absolutely.
Right. Yes. And listeners, don't forget, if you love Monster Party, go to monsterpartyhq.com. That's our new website. Everything involved with Monster Party is there. Every episode we've ever done is on there to listen to. We have blogs. We have new content on our blogs all the time, film reviews, bios of us, Patreon access, show notes, all our social media links. Plus, we have our TeePublic merch links there, so you can buy all our cool TeePublic designs right from our website. So check it out.
And of course, the classic Monster Party collection of t-shirts, caps, shot glasses, PPE cloth masks are still available on our eBay store, which is, you guessed it, Monster Party Store. And if you happen to also be a Patreon member and buy merch from eBay, we will throw in free surprise goodies, courtesy of our good friends Jason Lindsay at Biff Bang Pow Toys and foam fabber extraordinaire Ted Haynes.
Two men who both claim they invented the assless judge robe.
Now, this Patreon thing, I've been so immersed in finding things to ask Josh about, in the legal field, which is pretty deep. I got to say, this whole Patreon thing has just completely slipped my mind. Can you please refresh my memory?
That was very well delivered. Now, much like a lawyer will defend their client from attacks on their innocence, the Monster Party hosts defend ourselves from attacks on our sense of wonder. And
Don't attack my sense of wonder.
Don't attack his sense of wonder. And so how do we defend these attacks on our sense of wonder? We do it with Monster Party bonus content. We're talking evidence like our exclusive audio episodes, our special shows like Monster Party Masterpieces, Monster Party on the Road, our popular Toy Time series, and my new off-the-cuff talk show, Blah, 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 with Matt Weinhold. And we also have our behind-the-scenes convention footage, our Japan trip video diary, and vintage horror and sci-fi fiction edited by our resident Lyscarian, John Bordeaux. And more.
Well, Matt, I would say that's definitely enough to please the court. But I got to say that after this episode, I feel like I should save up for some Godzilla insurance. So I don't know if I can afford this bounty. How much does it cost?
God, you're a pro. Well, for the price James Gonis was fined for parking Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in a no unrealistic hippy dippy flying car zone, you could become a Monster Party patron. And that price is $5. $5 a month.
That's crazy. You can't get a copy of a subpoena issued to you for lepus animal cruelty.
That's true.
No, it's cheaper.
Okay, well, you know what? No contest. How do I join?
Well, all you have to do is you go to patreon.com, you go to Monster Party, you click join, you follow the instructions, and next thing you know, you'll be as happy as a human centipede who just got dismissed from jury duty.
And speaking of jury duty, we are on social media. You can find us on Facebook at Monster Party TV, Twitter, now X at Monster Party HQ, Instagram, and Blue Sky, also Monster Party HQ, and YouTube at Monster Party TV. And wherever you're listening to us, please take a moment and send us your thoughts and review. We'd love to hear them, and we will read them on the air.
And we won't just read your review. We'll use it to build a case as to why you should be allowed to write more reviews. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James GONIS.
Keep America strong.
And do your own legal geeking for fun.
And if you end up getting a golden ticket, hire an attorney.
Ugh, this chocolate milk has an Augustus aftertaste. All that enthusiasm, just put it to the side because Larry Stroth is coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour.
Larry is doing his podcast from under a shade. Is this your way of going, I'm
He's
only going to
probably
be
got a
half engaged?
Camera cover. There we go.
Oh, there you are. There he is.
I thought you were saying the other podcast that I'm doing. Yeah.
Oh, God help them.
No, it's,
I don't know.
sometimes
You're coy.
we'll save
Sometimes
that for
you're
another
coy.
show. Yeah.
What, see, why you're saving it for all these shows? I'm only going to make it so long. I need you to hurry this up. I'm holding on by a thread, Larry.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the save it for our Highway to Heaven show. Save
oh,
it
good
for our-
Lord.
Okay,
Oh
look,
my God, wow.
since our attorney is here, if we've been doing this for
Okay.
14 years, we're gonna go
Hi, Shawn.
on 15 years. Have we thought about saying to ourselves, hey, when's that time when we decide to hang it up? Are we like looking at like 20 years?
You mean
or is
life
it
in general, or
No. I mean,
are we going to go to Norway or wherever the fuck you can do that?
Like, are we going to be doing this at age 72?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have something else you're going to be doing except shitting your pants and eating pudding?
I do that now.
Hey.
Oh, you know what, James? I shit pudding. It's the circle of life.
Lucky man.
That's off-putting.
Off-putting.
Ding.
As long as you're happy, keep going. It's
Thank you,
Josh,
Josh.
Look at all the
Thank you.
tikis you've
Yeah,
got.
I love his tikis.
Yes,
That's not
Josh,
code.
I got a question for you. Do you use those tikis? Do you actually
occasionally-
go, I'm gonna have some beer in this one tonight? Is that what you're doing?
Not exactly. So I have made Mai Tais or pina coladas and used one.
I'm listening.
If I do a specific topic, let's just say if it
Yeah.
was like a Star Trek one,
Got
I
it.
might get one of the Star Trek tikis,
Makes
or
sense.
or again one of the Marvel ones. I got the Halloween Universal Monsters over here.
Oh.
So, well, like if I do something on, say, Frankenstein's creature,
Yeah.
the Frankenstein one out. Well,
Yeah.
now granted, might just be iced tea or an Arnold Palmer in there, but like that.
Sure.
Wow, you
Sure.
have really let us down. Who are you?
No,
Yeah,
no,
there
he
you
hasn't
go.
let us down.
There-
No, he
there-
hasn't.
An Arnold Palmer.
Maybe you.
How about a
he's let
yoo-hoo and some high C?
See, okay.
Remember high
So
C?
everyone, let's get wasted with Matt Weinhold. That's the name
That's
of
my
the
that's
game.
my competing podcast. Let's get wasted with Matt Weinhold.
Are you guys silly like breaking into Logan's Run here with that? With
No, Logan. Look, we're all double or triple the lifespan. So I mean,
I think what Larry is trying to say is that the odds that we made it this far were pretty low anyway. Everything else is gravy. And I love gravy. That's what I usually have in my tiki mug. A little gravy.
just
A little gravy and a
KFC gravy.
biscuit in the other one.
see, gravy's a sore subject here on this show.
Well,
Is it
because-
really? I didn't realize this.
We all
Sean, were
love-
you aware of this?
No.
See, you learn something every day.
Larry always pulls out these bizarre, out of left field
See,
subjects
Sean,
sometimes.
Sean, that's what I don't understand about you. Sean,
Larry,
you were
when in the
there.
past did
You
gravy
were
become a
there.
conflict?
I need to hear this again. What
Sean,
happened with
Actually,
gravy?
let's save that for another podcast. Let's just
No,
start
no.
this podcast.
Can you go through it slowly?
No,
Yeah.
because Matt's all, we're gonna have a huge list of all these things we're gonna get to. No, really quickly, we had
Wait,
this
really quickly. Thank you.
conversation about Thanksgiving and not having enough
Okay.
gravy at Thanksgiving. Because I came from a large family. You had
Because
this
there's never
great
enough gravy.
list.
You're right. That's true.
And then Matt's all, my parents were caterers and I had lots of gravy.
We
I
did have
had
lots of
for
gravy. I'm not going to lie,
days.
Larry. I'm not trying to
And-
rub it in your face
No,
because gravy in the face is not a pleasant thing. But
no.
we did have a lot of gravy, and it flowed like water. It was.
Yeah.
We had a fountain. We had a gravy
Yeah.
fountain.
A gravy fountain. I dream
Yeah,
of
and
a
I would
gravy fountain.
I would put my feet in it and just let the day go away.
Oh,
It was my hot tub. It was my jacuzzi. And my brother would beat it with a whisk to get that jacuzzi effect.
See, the thought of putting
Good
your
night,
feet in
everybody.
gravy, I just don't know. I just no, I don't think we could do that.
All right, but now I am convinced we should do a gravy episode. But Sean, we'll get back to you on this.
But Josh, I am so glad that you're here tonight, and I'm
Yes,
so glad
me
you
too.
brought up Star Trek
Star
Oh.
Trek, yes.
because
We're all
I have like
Trekkies.
kind of a
You've heard of it.
cool Trek question. No,
Okay.
yes, he's heard of it. He knows. He's an expert.
Once or twice.
And
He
I know
dabbles.
James is not necessarily
He likes
Not
Star Trek.
necessarily.
he's not Star Trek expert or even
No.
viewer.
He's a Star Lost fan.
But
He's
I think the concept he knows or has
I
an
know the
idea.
concept.
he knows the overall.
No, not
Okay.
the concept of Star Trek, a particular topic in Star Trek.
Okay. All right. So that's that's one of your legal questions that you're saving for the big show, right?
Maybe we'll see how it goes. We'll see how
Let's see how it
flows
goes.
here.
I don't put you on the spot.
No.
Who
Look,
knows how it could go?
I mean, I'm not. I don't have a thing here that says I must talk about this.
Mine are all
I
from
know-
behind the green door.
So while we're on the proto subject of Trek and, how long have you known about Trek or enjoyed it? Here's a little proof of life on how far back I go. My first con, which was TimeCon 1985
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
in San Jose, put on by, Channel 54 was like heavily involved with that.
It wasn't Creation Con. I know Creation Con did a lot of
They
stuff
they
down
came
there.
they came. It
Or
was
they came
Creation
later?
Con.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I went to the Space Con conventions, and there's a little clip of me from the news
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a
It's
Klingon.
so
And
awesome.
I'm going to bring that costume back. I think I'm going to do that. I was dressed as the Mego Klingon.
I've given that DVD as a gift to multiple people.
It's the greatest. No, that's a great.
Wow.
Sean, you have that, right?
The Space Con DVD. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
That's
I don't
fucking
know if-
amazing.
I don't know if I have a Space Con DVD.
It's cool. You can get like a
Oh,
Monsters in Motion or something. You can
Yeah,
Yeah,
order
you can
it.
find it
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have
I'm
to
still
do something.
yeah. I'm still holding out for somebody here to get me a new Halloween CD of Halloween
Ooh.
music
That's
that
coming.
has great. Oh, is
All
it?
right. So
I
I've
found
got
a master.
Merciful Fate. I've got Black Sabbath. I've got. Oh, you don't. Oh. Okay.
No. You gave.
No.
I have
It's fine.
yours.
It's
No,
fine.
no, but I have your.
It's
you
I
have- it's
I
a
know.
Great,
I know. It's
It's a great DVD.
so. Hey, before we go too far with this, I know that
Well-
Sean has a dog that needs to be taken care of, so we don't take too
Well,
long
no,
with this.
yeah, it's not that. It's just I just want to get going. That's all. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not.
What is
It's
it?
not
What do
that.
we-
He's just annoyed with all
I
of
just
us.
I just want to get going. Yeah.
Well, I look,
Yeah.
Sean. The thing is, like in
Oh, boy.
what's from what's the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, when they're
yes.
doing business, they need to talk about 10 minutes as like generic, like fun, like shoot the shit for 10 minutes before you go into the business.
Yeah.
That's
It's been
kinda what
12.
I
It's
thought
been
you-
12 minutes. So let's go.
But
Oh,
he's counting.
Look,
Oh,
trust
sorry.
me. Sean has a fucking stopwatch that is connected to Big Ben. I mean, and the atomic clock. He
Are
knows
we-
That's right.
exactly what's happening here. You know what? There's one that I forgot that I just want to ask you, just asking you. Because when we were talking about Forbidden Planet, the whole thing about Morbius not knowing that he is creating this id
The id.
monster that's killing people,
Yeah.
hey, would you be liable for that?
It depends on when you knew. So if you knew about it, I think after knowing, liability kicks in. for everything pre-knowledge, it doesn't, because you didn't know, you couldn't control it. So
Yeah.
I mean, let's say he survived. He didn't really know until the very last second when that
but
thing was
Matt-
coming through.
Yeah, but Matt, remember, like Lisa Nielsen even says at the end, like, doesn't he say something like, Morbius, you knew all along, you know what it is. It's you're trying
Yeah.
to, you protect your daughter when, like, he kind of
Did-
subconsciously,
but
I
did
mean, literally
it's his own
subconsciously
it's his
knew.
own arrogance. This is what gets me about really, really smart people who are so full of themselves and not being able to.
You know what?
look
I'm right here,
inside.
Larry.
I just to look inside and ask those questions and question the stuff that you do. Oh no, I'm so brilliant. Everything I do.
Yeah, like
is great.
was he in a state of denial? Like maybe
That's
he
what
was,
I-
you know,
that's
to
what
a
I
point.
think.
But the idea that he was conscious that he was creating this thing, I don't know about that.
great questions. Those are very thoughtful questions.
For the next
Great
show.
questions.
And I'm going to have to rewatch it because, funny, I just had Forbidden Planet as one of the UFO movies on a survey last week. So at work, we have a database for showing off the product. A lot of the government UFO disclosure data.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And that's fun to search and look at because
Sure.
Yeah.
it's like, well, this is neat, like being able to
Yeah.
weather balloons and actual sightings and
Right.
a lot of like Hynix material.
Mhm.
But
Sure.
I began, with the survey about what's your favorite UFO movie, and just wanting UFOs. Like we didn't get into Alien or
Just the
Thing.
ships,
Sure,
the
right.
actual
Just the
saucers.
ships and the
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And
Yes. Yeah.
Forbidden Planet was one of the ones I put on there.
Oh yeah. C-57D, right? Yeah.
Classic. It was used
Yeah.
again and again too. Even
Yeah.
upside
Twilight
down
Zone, yeah.
at times.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful
Let's go.
saucer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
So
There's a great kit that I want to get at some point, but the reason why I haven't gotten it is I know I'll be putting it together on my deathbed. Like it's one
Oh,
of
it's
those
like
kinda-
really, yeah.
yeah, but because like to do it right, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did
And
they
it's
ever
one of
put
these-
out like a
No.
Larry? You would know. Did they ever put out like a little toy?
It
of
was
it?
yes, and get this, guys. Do you remember Verly Bird?
Oh right,
Bird.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
helicopter
Birdie
that
Bird,
went around
Birdie
in
Bird.
circles.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had one.
They did a spaceship. It was the Forbidden Planet spaceship, but
Oh, cool.
it didn't sell well or was too expensive. So to
Huh.
find one still in a box, it's
Wow. That's interesting.
really, really rare.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
beautiful design.
This kit though is like not only does it come with the saucer, it comes with an id monster that you
Really?
can paint and the fence, all the characters, and you can take the top off and it's the full cockpit.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
That's awesome. I'll have to pay
And
somebody to build it.
it's
for me.
great.
I'd never
But the
finish it.
problem with that
Yeah.
is it's great.
Yeah.
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 And I would
Yeah.
have to paint it and make
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah. That'd be a whole
No,
project. Yeah.
I-
That's
do
cool.
justice.
I would buy it. I'd keep it in its cellophane wrapping. And
Yeah.
put it
Yeah,
on.
and then
I-
then they'd find your dead body draped over it,
Exactly.
trying to open it.
Exactly.
I was
Chester's
gonna
glue.
make it. I was this close.
This close to taking the cellophane off.
Right. Just
Right.
claw marks in the cellophane.
I still haven't. I still haven't clipped
Oh, wow.
the ties off that Godzilla in the box I got in 2015. We got to film.
Oh, yeah,
we got to
that's
do
right.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
got to
film
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.